Wednesday here in Southern Ontario. This is the Sportsline Podcast. Appreciate you watching or listening on the CHCH and Parrot Media platforms. I'm Bubba O'Neil. Friends, this podcast is a space for the many extraordinary athletes, coaches, executives, and broadcasters that got their start here in the Golden Horseshoe. Today, a local Linkster who's been on the LPGA for over 20 years. Well, when you dig into the career of this St. Thomas More product, her decision to play professional golf could not have been more rewarding. Alena Sharp has traveled the globe and gone toe-to-toe with many of the best on tour and learned many lessons along the way. She's represented Canada at 3 Olympics and won bronze at the Pan Am Games. In a full circle moment, Sharp was recently elected to the Canadian Golf Hall of Fame. And here to talk about where she's been and where she still wants to go, let's say hello to this member of the class of 2026 from her home in, of course, Arizona. Oh my goodness, Alena Sharp, how are you?
I'm good. You know, it's nice to chat with you. And under such an amazing honor to be going into the Canadian Golf Hall of Fame. Something that I never really thought about when I first started swinging the club. So, I'm super proud to be going into the Hall of Fame with so many legends of Canadian golf.
Well, I'm glad that you said that. Of course, you look who's in the Canadian Golf Hall of Fame. You look at your class of 2026, the legendary Pat Bradley, a 3-time winner in this country. Lee Trevino, everybody knows Lee Trevino, another 3-time winner in this country. Peter Broom, everyone knows or has had some association with him if you have been in the golfing world. And to go in with a class like that, it's got to mean a lot to you.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. This year they added an international category, and when I found out I was going in with Pat and Lee, I was like, wow, this is pretty cool to be, the first year for it, and I'm going in with 2 legends.
Before we get to anything more about this, I just got to check in just carefully. I know that you fairly recently had a little knee surgery. Your meniscus is all okay? Are you good?
Oh, yeah, all good. I wasn't in a lot of pain when I had the surgery, but my surgeon said, good thing we did it because the MRI didn't show as much of a tear, or maybe I tore it more since the MRI. So I'm glad I got it done. It feels good. I'm back to running, doing all those things in the gym that I couldn't do for a good 6 weeks. Swing is feeling fine. I don't feel any pain, so all good.
That's great to hear. Hey, let's go back to the old days. St. Thomas More to New Mexico. Let's go back to the high school days. Did you ever envision that golf would be I'll take it this basic, would be your way of employment?
I think I remember just thinking back when I first started, 15, 16, 17 years old. I was like a slow learner. I feel like I started when I was 10. I was shooting like 72 for 9 holes. Not very good. Played hockey in the winter, did some soccer. I was doing all sorts of sports. And then I remember breaking my finger in soccer. And then it was like, my parents were like, okay, well, do you want to play golf or not? Because this is affecting your golf now. So I think it was when I was 16, a lot of things came to head. I stopped playing hockey. That soccer injury kind of made me stop soccer after that season. And I think that year I was successful and I won the Ontario Junior. So it was like, okay, I've gotten better slowly and climbing the ladder, and maybe this is something that I could get a golf scholarship for. So I kind of just plodded my way along. And then when I did get my scholarship, I thought, I want to try this professionally. I'm definitely going to do 4 years at college. I did that. And then I know my senior year, I thought to myself, if I don't make it in 3 years, I'm going to do something else. And I made it on, I think it was my second time through. First time I got some status, but then was playing on the Symetra Tour back in the day, and they only had 3 cards that year. Now they have 10. I think I finished 5th. and then got through successfully at Q School the next year and haven't really looked back since.
It's amazing that journey that you took there. And what people maybe don't know is that you had a tremendously successful career at the University of Mexico with your team on an individual basis. Did that give you the confidence that, you know what, hey, that when I'm going to try to get my LPGA Tour card, that, you know what, I can stand along with some of the best?
Yeah, definitely. Had, I think, 4 wins over the course of my 4-year career there. And I was a first team All-American in my senior year, which was pretty cool, playing amongst the best in the country. A lot of those girls actually made the LPGA. I played against Lorena Ochoa a lot. So yeah, I knew that my game was good enough. It's just a matter of getting through Q School, which is always a tough task.
I'm glad you brought up Q School because there were some ups and some downs. And I know, as you said, you were gaining some points on the Symetra Tour and you had limited status. When you're at that point of your career and that golf is kind of becoming a grind and that, I mean, you're kind of right there. What's the emotional toll like? I mean, in terms of, you know, being confident and continuing to slug through to get your full status?
I think playing, you know, on the Symetra Tour that year and maybe not jumping back and forth, because I did have some status and I didn't play in a couple LPGA events because I was trying to just get that top 3. I think playing out there just gave me some confidence. I was like the big fish in a smaller pond, and it gave me the confidence to do well at Q School that fall. And you know, I still remember it. It was in Daytona, and I was on the outside looking in going into the last day. Maybe it helped me because I was off the back 9, so I had to do something, and it was windy, and I got the tough side out of the way first, and then I remember holding a shot out for eagle and just finishing strong and getting in kind of the back doorway. But yeah, I just stayed resilient and never gave up, and I think that's why, you know, I've done so well in my career. I have grit. I get it done. I feel like I need to get back into that now as I'm older. Remember that grit that I've always had. Like, even though things might not be going great, I would just find a way to get the ball in the hole. So I think that's why I've had such a long career and done so well.
You bring that up, and you do talk about that, and I think every golfer, whether it's a male or female, kind of brings this up, is that, you know what, especially when you have a career that lasted as long as yours have, at least at the LPGA level, is that there's going to be moments where you're close, there's going to be moments when you win, and there's going to be times where you quite honestly have the yips. You just can't get it done, and you're kind of in your own head. You've had a couple of moments like that. But what keeps you, again, strong and being able to get out of those moments of, you know, struggle, I would guess?
I think the love of the game. I never see it as a job. I've always just loved the challenge of the game. Like, every week is a new week. Yeah, maybe last week was really bad, but you move on, you go to the next week, it's a different course. You know, you see it everywhere on every tour that certain players love certain courses. And I think that's the beauty of playing out on the tour. Every week is a new start. If you can forget the previous week and, you know, think of it that way, a clean slate, you know, work on the things that didn't go well the week before and then get back at it. I think I've always had that going for me, and, you know, love to play golf. I think that's why I've endured and keep wanting to play right now, because I still love the game. I don't see it as a job, like I said. So, yeah.
One of the things that I think is always neat, and I hear this again from all levels, amateur and of course that, you know, that get invited, is playing in this country when the Canadian Open comes around. And correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's been 20 Canadian Opens that you've actually competed in. I know there's a buzz, there's responsibilities, family, tickets. What's that like when you come home? Because you spend most of your time in the United States, you live in Arizona, but when you come back home, and especially we've had some local Canadian Opens open, or I guess it's a CPKC Open that they're calling it right now. What's it like when you come home and golf in front of family and friends?
I think, it's at the beginning of my career, I was like, oh, I kind of was oblivious. And I did get a top 10 in 2007. That was my first top 10 ever. It was in Edmonton. We're playing there this year at Royal Mayfair. And then it was like, after that, I was like, oh, now I've got to do well. I put pressure on myself. So there were a bunch of years in a row where I did not play well at the Canadian Open. And then, I've gotten back to playing better at it, because you just got to, take those moments in stride and really enjoy what you're doing. And it's one of the best tournaments of the year for a Canadian golfer. Everybody's there to support you. Regardless of which province we're in, it was always something where it was always a home game, whether I was in BC or Alberta, it didn't matter. I felt right at home, everybody cheering for you, the fans, the volunteers are always so friendly. Also, I saw in this clip here, Manulife. I miss playing that event. It was great to have 2 events in Canada every year. And that one was close to home at Whistlebear. So, I always love playing in Canada, playing for Canada. I seem to rise up to those occasions wearing the red and white. It was always been probably the most, special part of my career.
You've made no bones about that, and I know that it seemed like every single time we got to these sort of Olympic situations, and I know you had some success at the Pan Am Games, winning the bronze individually, that, if you're going to play in the Olympics, your game seemed to go to another level. Was it all about representing and wearing that maple leaf? I hear it in hockey. You hear it in every single sport. But golf, once they instituted that professionals could play, it really seemed to mean something to you.
Absolutely. I mean, being a sports nut, just growing up watching sports, whether it's Winter Olympics or Summer Olympics, when I was younger, there was no golf in the Olympics. So I just assumed I was never going to be an Olympian. And then when they decided, they changed the rule and made 2016 the first year. I mean, there weren't many Canadians on tour that year, but I was playing well. That's one of my better seasons in 2016. And, being part of that team with Brooke all 3 times. The last time getting into Paris, I was on the outside looking in and played. I just found a way to get on that team. I just worked my butt off and was able to qualify and get to go again and be alongside Brooke. I mean, every Olympics, it's been tough. I finished middle of the pack, but last time in Paris, the first round, I was right up there, and then pressure got to me the next day, but just, I'll never forget those times representing Canada. Highlights of my career, always going to those closing ceremonies with the rest of Team Canada was something I will never forget for as long as I live.
You bring up Brooke Henderson, and I think of your career, and you've kind of plopped right in the middle of 2 Canadian icons that I think you've maybe looked up to or relied upon, and maybe they relied on you as well, too. Is Brooke Henderson at one end of the spectrum and Lori Kane at the other spectrum. Lori Kane first. What did she mean to you?
I mean, growing up, you saw she was always in contention and finally broke through and won. And, it's just, she kind of made you inspire to be her, like get in there, get on tour and do well, just like she did. So, yeah. And I'm obviously other Canadians out there too. When I first came out, Dawn Coe-Jones was very nice to me, Gail Graham, and AJ Ethorn took me under her wing, closer in age. She really helped me out. So yeah, I think Canadians kind of give back. I was mentored and I mentor now, and I love doing it. I love to be there and help people out the best that I can and give some knowledge and support.
It's amazing to me that Brooke Henderson has now won 14 times on tour. It's amazing. That's more than any other Canadian, as you know, male or female. And she's still so young. What's so special about Brooke Henderson?
You know, I think she has everything going for her. She's got a very strong mental game. She has all the shots. She never gives up. She definitely has it. Great competitor. Yeah, I just, just looking at her winning in Saskatchewan, that was amazing to watch. I was out there, watched her play the last 2 holes. I made the cut and played okay in that one, but wanted to see her finish. And wow, what a great friend too. Like, we've just shared so many great moments together over the years. And I can't believe she's been on tour that long already, and 14 wins is not shocking to hear.
Why was it important for you to be part of this?
Just, a really good friend, and just, I don't know, a great kid. Just, we spent so much time together. Whenever she was in contention and I was there, I tried to be there to watch her win. So
I love, you got her pretty good with the beer and the wine, though.
Of course. I mean, that night in Saskatchewan, she doesn't drink. I drank for her. I had a bad hangover the next day, but it was fun. It was worth it.
Hey, I'll tell you. Hey, just want to check in on another thing here. I know there was a time, and I know the last time we talked to you here on CHCH, you had some things going on. There was like was it a mini little cancer scare, or like, is everything okay there? And how did you work through that?
Oh yeah, it was just a little pre-melanoma on my ears. Like, I always get my skin checked, and it was during COVID, so glad I was able to get that taken care of before everything closed down. And wow, you have some gruesome pictures.
Well, it was what was going on at the time.
Yeah, I just really, make sure I put a lot of sunscreen on and just get it checked up every year. So all good.
Well, I guess golfing in Arizona for the most part is a little different than golfing here at home when it comes to the sun.
Absolutely. This last week it's been over 100 for 5 days straight. It's very warm, very seasonally warm. It should be in the 80s right now, and we're 20 degrees warmer Fahrenheit, which not ready for that yet.
But it's okay because it's a dry heat, right?
Oh yeah, it's hot.
Hey, where do you go from here? So much has been accomplished. What's left for Alena Sharp when it comes to professional golf?
Yeah, it's a good question to ask. Right now I'm in the process of really evaluating what my goals are for this year. I know that sounds weird for me to say when it's the middle of March, but I'm kind of like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I still want to play, but I also enjoy coaching and teaching. I have the senior tour option to play. Yeah, I don't know. I obviously would love to get a win on the LPGA. That's never happened, but if I don't, it's not going to make or break my career, because I've been out there for so long and have had a really good career. I know that in my head. So yeah, I think doing some senior stuff, playing the Canadian Open is a big goal this year, to go back to Mayfair and enjoy playing there, as I've had good vibes playing there, and yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Well, I hope you're not ignoring those 16 top 10s and 68 top 25 finishes. You've been in the mix. And it's only till you talk to someone that is on tour, PGA or LPGA, even as you said, the senior tour. And I think we sometimes take winning for granted, because we see it every night in hockey and basketball and baseball when you play 82 or 180, 162 times in baseball. Winning is really hard on tour, isn't it?
It's very difficult, and it's gotten more difficult as the years have gone on. The tour is stronger. the girls are younger, and yeah, I mean, it is tough. There's no let up. If you want to win a tournament, you can't have an off day. You got to have 4 days of really good golf. Just makes it that much tougher to win. You look at Nelly Corda last year. Her stats in some ways were better than the year before when she won 6 times, but she didn't win at all. So that just goes to show you how great and competitive women's golf has gotten over the last 15 years.
I'm glad you brought that up because we're experiencing something. A CBA just signed in the WNBA, the professional hockey. I mean, had you chose maybe way back in the day, hung around a little bit, or had you been younger, you could have maybe played professional hockey. Are you impressed with what's going on in the terms of women's sports right now, where we stand here in 2026?
I am, and it's impressive. I mean, even in the Olympics, I feel like I remember seeing a stat that we had more women representing Canada than men this year, and that was a first. Definitely, women's athletics is on the rise. I've seen Caitlin Clark come to an LPGA event, and she had so many people at the Pro-Am watching her, almost more than we had in the tournament. I mean, just seeing that is pretty cool. And when she was playing in that Pro-Am in Tampa, I saw little boys and little girls wearing her jersey. Like, that is pretty cool. And yeah, women's professional hockey, having a league and getting so many more teams, I think, it's great to see women's sports up on the rise, and that they're getting the recognition they deserve.
Maybe someone that deserves recognition, I think, for your career is one Sarah Bowman. I'll leave this to you. What has she meant to you?
She's my rock. She's been caddying for me since 2014. It started out as like, oh, come caddy for me. I need a caddy this week. We won that tournament. Then I didn't really have a steady caddy on the LPGA, and I'm like, do you want to try this? And it hasn't looked back since. And we've traveled the world together. She's a very positive influence on me, believes in me more than I believe in myself at times. And I couldn't imagine going through this journey with anybody else.
Is it good for you? I mean, you came out years ago. Now, you help me here. I feel like being a gay athlete right now, I don't know if it's a big deal anymore. But when you were, and you and Sarah were together, was it kind of a big deal? And was it something that you had to sort of fight through in terms of public stigma?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was more like, oh, I don't want people to think of me differently. But at the same time, it was like, well, if they think of me differently, then that's their problem, not me. But definitely, it was a team decision. My agent, George Surlis, has been there with me first with Landmark Sport Group when I first turned pro, and then he left there, and then he started his own company, and I've been with him ever since. And I really respect him and his honesty, and we just talked through it as a team, and he said, I think we should just, we're going to be true to ourselves, and that's what I always want to be, and I want to be, a model for other athletes that are going through that.
Did you consider it taking a chance?
Yeah, I thought it was a chance at the time. I think now it's not so much, but definitely the times then it was like, okay, well, maybe I don't want to lose sponsorship over it, but if I do, okay. I just want to be true to myself and be happy and live my life the way that I want to live it. And I don't want to live in the shadow or, live a lie. So
I'm glad you paved the way for many other athletes in this country that are gay, and I think that's wonderful. And I think you kind of said it, that it was all about your happiness. So I think it's amazing that you did that, Alena. Congratulations! And look at that. I mean, there's happiness. Yeah. Isn't that happiness right there?
Yeah, it's a funny story because we had the backyard done And I'm like, yeah, maybe one day we can get married in the backyard. And Sarah's like, are you kidding me? And then COVID hit. And then what happened? We got married in the backyard. So
That's a wonderful story. Hey, Alena, this is, first of all, great to catch up with you. Congratulations on your well-earned Hall of Fame status. The ceremony's coming up. I'm sure you'll be back home for it. And we can't wait to celebrate with you. And just for anyone that's just learning about you, or someone that knows about you a long time, maybe someone like your dad. Can we just bring up your dad who taught me in high school? High school at Assumption High School? Like, I mean, a little bit about your dad, who I think was a fine fella. Good educator.
Yeah, I mean, he was the one that brought me to the course all the time. So, yeah, that's how it started. My mom was RN and did the night shift. And I remember going with my dad to Brantford, and he would play 9 holes and I'd be like farting around in the bunker or something. And that's kind of how it started. So, yeah. From not wanting to really be interested in playing to be eventually beating his ass on the course, that always felt good.
I'm sure it does. And hopefully he's having a good little giggle about this. Alena, thank you again so much for your time. It's been great catching up with you.
Thank you. It was great to catch up with you too.
All right. Take care of yourself. Well, folks, that's your Sportsline podcast for the day. And if you've just seen and heard, we love talking sports with our local legends. If you do know of an athlete, team, or event to promote the Sportsline podcast, we want to hear from you. Please hit that thumbs up, like, and subscribe button. And if you have something to say, we always appreciate your comments. For the outstanding people in the control room that make the Sportsline podcast possible, thank you so very much. And we'll see you real soon.